Have you ever walked outside on a quiet morning and felt like the world was holding its breath, as if a soft gray curtain had slipped between you and everything you know? That gentle veil is fog, a cloud that has come down to earth, drifting through streets and forests like a shy visitor. But where does it come from? What secret recipe allows the air itself to turn visible? And where does it go when the sun finally peels it away? Let's follow the life of fog, from its invisible beginnings to its silent farewell. Fog is born from a simple but magical combination: tiny droplets of water, cool air, and a surface that helps the air lose heat. Imagine the air as a sponge that can hold water vapor, an invisible gas that comes from oceans, rivers, soil, plants, and even your breath. Warm air is like a big sponge, with lots of room to hold moisture. But when that air cools, it's like squeezing the sponge. The extra water has to come out. This is the moment fog begins. During the night, the ground quietly releases heat into the sky, cooling the air just above it. Or sometimes, warm, moist air drifts over a colder surface, like ocean water or chilled land. As the temperature drops to what scientists call the dew point, the invisible vapor turns into countless microscopic droplets, so small they float instead of falling. Each droplet forms around tiny particles in the air, specks of dust, grains of salt, even bits of smoke. These particles act like tiny seeds, giving water something to cling to. Slowly, almost secretly, the air fills with billions of these droplets. When enough gather, the air turns milky and soft. Fog has taken its first breath. Think of it like millions of tiny lanterns scattering light in every direction. That's why fog glows softly instead of casting sharp shadows. There are many ways fog can be born. Sometimes it rises from valleys at dawn, called radiation fog, after a calm, cool night. Sometimes it rolls in from the sea, advection fog, when moist ocean air glides over colder land. In mountains, fog forms as air is pushed upward, cooling as it climbs, wrapping peaks in shifting scarves. And in cold regions, freezing fog can form, coating trees and power lines with delicate crystals like nature's lace. No matter how it forms, fog begins quietly, no thunder, no sudden burst, just a gradual softening of the world. Once alive, fog begins its journey across the landscape, moving with the gentle push of winds and the subtle changes of temperature. It creeps along rivers, fills valleys like a slow-moving tide, and slips between buildings as if exploring a new city. To the world below, fog is both artist and storyteller. It softens harsh lines, turning busy streets into dreamlike scenes. It muffles sound, because the tiny droplets absorb and scatter noise waves, making footsteps seem closer and distant sounds fade away. Drivers slow down, ships sound their horns, and animals move cautiously, adapting to a world with shorter horizons. In forests, fog is a quiet giver of life. Trees and plants capture moisture directly from the air, a process called fog drip. Droplets collect on leaves and needles, then fall to the soil like a gentle rain, nourishing ecosystems even when no clouds above release showers. In some coastal regions, entire forests depend on fog as a hidden water source. Fog also plays with light in beautiful ways. Sunbeams piercing through create glowing columns, sometimes called God rays, as light scatters through the droplets. At night, streetlights bloom into halos, each droplet bending and reflecting light like tiny prisms. But fog is not just beauty. It is also a reminder of nature's delicate balance. Because it reduces visibility, it can challenge travelers on roads, at sea, and in the air. Airports monitor fog carefully, using instruments that measure how far you can see through it. Yet, even in its challenges, fog teaches patience, asking us to move slowly and pay attention. As fog drifts, it constantly changes shape. A slight warming can thin it. A cool breeze can thicken it. It may gather into dense patches or stretch into wisps that fade and reform. Like a living creature, it responds to its environment moment by moment. Eventually, every fog reaches a turning point, the beginning of its farewell. As the sun rises higher, it gently warms the ground and the air. Remember the sponge? Now it's expanding again, able to hold more water vapor. The tiny droplets begin to evaporate, turning invisible once more. Sometimes wind mixes the fog with drier air, helping it dissolve faster. Other times, warming simply lifts it upward, transforming it back into a low cloud. You might watch as the fog thins, revealing shapes that slowly return, trees emerging like silhouettes, buildings regaining their edges, colors growing brighter. It's as if the world is waking up from a soft dream. In cold conditions, fog may settle as dew or frost, leaving behind sparkling beads on grass and spider webs, a quiet signature of where it once lingered. But fog never truly disappears. The water molecules that formed its body return to the great cycle of Earth's water, rising again as vapor, traveling through the atmosphere, waiting for the right moment to gather once more. Perhaps tonight, as the air cools, they will come together again, forming a new veil somewhere else. So the life of fog is a gentle loop, invisible vapor becoming a visible wanderer, drifting across landscapes, then dissolving back into the unseen. Next time you step into a foggy morning, imagine walking through a living cloud, billions of tiny droplets suspended in a delicate balance between warmth and cold, presence and disappearance. You are witnessing a quiet story written in air and water, a reminder that even the softest phenomena have deep and intricate lives. Fog asks us to slow down, to look closely, and to appreciate the beauty of things that appear, transform, and fade, only to begin again.